Which is my very next question to you, because you spoke about, well, we spoke about ways to possibly lower the city budget. And I think that's complicated by the fact that one of the light items on the budget, at least the city budget, is $18 million in interest payments to the bonded debt. So that makes it tough to try and bring that.
It's going to be more than that. Plus, if you put it onto the Board of Ed.
Yeah. How do you think we can begin to take that bonded debt away?
That all hinges on the development of the peninsula and also the Texaco property, Pirelli Cable, Best Foods. All these industries have left us.
Right.
And the taxpayer is getting crushed under the burden of picking up those ratables. And they generated jobs. They put money in people's pockets so they could go shopping. That's why the Broadway area is a mess. People just don't have the money that came with the blue-collar community that I grew up here in Bayonne.
So development leads me to the next question. This question comes from a member of the Bayonne.net web board community, which is actually one of our oldest in Bayonne. Joe Cimento runs that board, and it's a terrific board. Bernie Gollum writes, let's assume it's a given that no mayor by himself can reduce the highest property taxes in this country. So the only course may be to bring in more ratables that do not require more spending, so the average taxes may go down. What plans do you have to help spur more building in Bayonne?
Well, we're kind of held hostage right now to the BLRA because the RFPs are out.
Right.
And they were supposed to be in by October 15th, but I understand they've been postponed now until after the first of the year.
Right.
But I also understand that there are global companies and big operators who have keen interest in coming in here, and they have development plans. We really have to await that. The one way we cannot go is residential,
Right.
because that's a recipe for disaster between services and teachers and schools, and oh my God, that would be a horror show.
So you're pushing for commercial or industrial?
Absolutely.
Any preference on either over the other, or?
Well, industrial would be the preferred, but you know, depending on what these major global corporations come up with. I mean, there's a lot of new technology, a lot of new industries coming up. In fact, just the Bayonne dry dock down there,
Right.
they now employ 70 people earning between $75,000 and $100,000 a year. The management there told me if they could get a long-term lease, they would be willing to spend a couple of $1 million more down there, and they would be able to raise their employment roll anywhere from 500 to 700 at that same dollar value, because they do pipe fabricating, which these big pipes that they can do, and they put them on barges and take them to oil refineries or different places where they need them. And that could be a tremendous business. And this guy is hamstrung by the fact that he's locked into uncertainty,
Right.
and he can't be expending the big money in an uncertain atmosphere.
So switching gears a bit, one of the frustrations of many non-politically connected people in Bayonne, such as myself, is that it's difficult to become more involved in the civic process and have a positive impact on the community. Would you make a promise to the public that you will replace the existing board members on various city boards as those positions become available, such as the BLRA and the Board of Education, with people who are unconnected to any local politicians, who are not business associates, or and whom do not hold jobs in city halls or city agencies? In short, will you encourage honest, concerned citizens, such as people that are involved in the Bayonne Public Advocate, to have a greater role in Bayonne?
Absolutely. The first thing I'm going to do, if elected mayor, I'm going to ask for the resignation of all members of the BLRA and all the attorneys serving them. Based on their track record, they should be gone. Now, I may invite a few back, but so I'm not closing the door totally on everybody there. But we certainly have community leaders, people of interest, intelligent people with good ideas, people who could negotiate and evaluate these offerings that we're getting, and not just be a rubber stamp for a mayor. Right. And that's exactly what happened there, and they botched it and they blew it, And as a result, we're in deep, deep trouble.
For the first time in Bayonne politics, the internet's become a campaigning tool. I've seen some of the commercials you've done, as well as some of the commercials that the Smith campaign has done. Unfortunately, the tone of the conversation occurring on some internet discussion boards has turned towards the negative. Does your campaign have any circuits who post to those forums, or are you aware, or do you keep track of what happens on those forums?
I don't read them,
Mm-hmm.
and I think they're horrible. They're slanderous, they're libelous, they're distortive. You have little moles sitting at computers, not revealing their identity,
Right.
just killing people.
Yeah.
And to me, it's despicable. And even that YouTube, I think that's a disgraceful thing. I've seen some of the things that are on there.
Well,
I don't condone it. I think it's awful.
I mean, some of the and maybe I'm mistaken, but some of the commercials I thought did come out of your camp, or did they not? No. Okay. All right.
Not that believe me, they don't have my
Mm-hmm.
support or my imprimatur.
Okay.
But I think that's the way of politics today. Apparently it is, because you read it, look at it on a national level, and oh my God, it's horrible.
It's very
And
bad.
right here in Bayonne. I mean, I don't think Mark Smith is putting those things on about me and this,
Well,
it's
answered-
awful.
He answered the same way you did, so certainly. So the final question, and thank you so much for answering the questions, by the way. Are there any thoughts that you'd like to leave the Bayonne Public Advocate and the citizens with?
Well, I never thought I'd be running for mayor at this time of my life, but I was so incensed at the course that the city took with respect to the BLRA and the finances and the total mismanagement of City Hall,
Mm-hmm.
that I just started it. And when I lost it to Doria the first time, a couple hundred votes, and then he left town, I really didn't even intend to get back into it. But when I'm looking and seeing what's going on, it's business as usual. They're treating Mark like an incumbent mayor, and I just know that he's going to keep the party going. And me, I'm here to end the party. We need a complete overhaul, a complete change in the culture of the way the city is managed. We must have austerity, not largesse. We must be cutting expenses, not increasing them. We have to be frugal, not out there spending money like it's going out of style tomorrow. I mean, and I know I can do it, or I'll give it a heck of a try. I know I have the work ethic to do it, and I know whatever decisions have to be made, I'll make them. I used to make 100 decisions a day sitting on the bench, and I never looked back. So here I am. Take it or leave it.
Well, the Honorable Patrick Conaghan, thank you for making the decision to join us.
Okay, thanks, Neil.
All right.